Good morning, folks. Only one place to begin. Incoming on the northeastern limb has been a plasma filament standing up as a solar tornado. We've seen these lift and burst many times before, and we saw it again yesterday afternoon as the filament broke open into the corona and released. Since this satellite looks from Earth's orbit, it is easy to tell that the CME will miss Earth north and away, but it demonstrates the necessity of watching for filamentary eruptions in addition to solar flare eruptions. So with that in mind, let's come over to spaceweathernews.com and peek in on the last 24 hours on our star. Pretty calm in mid to low latitudes, just eyeing the big coronal hole and the thinner, slightly dark worm-looking filament behind him. Stay calm, big guy. The sunspots that crept onto the disk yesterday have been silent. The size belies the simple magnetic setup of this grouping, with a negative umbra in the lead and on the south, with positive scrimmage line back away from them, unable to produce any solar flares. Calming news in the solar wind as well, as the purple shows particle speed continuing to drop and Earth's shield is calm. But of course, the currently Earth-facing coronal hole still has solar wind heading our way. Takes about 3 days to arrive after they hit center disk, so more streams are incoming. Look to the left, dark incoming on the south. That's the beginning of the negative coronal hole system. Turned round again as we've been in positive opening influence for a while, but you see the red beginning to creep in on the left where the next coronal hole was seen incoming as well. Let's do our top news, starting with the 2016 release of the infrared sky. It took 4 years to complete. This is just part of it. We did show it last year when it came out, but now, one of the brightest parts of the infrared sky is giving scientists a reason to take a second look and pay very close attention. This line of stars is exactly that, another of the star birth factories set up in a row. And not only is this another pearls on a string scenario, but look at the cosmic jet features present in the region. Folks, not only are the stars aligned, but their cosmic jets all point in the same direction. This is absolutely not the first time we've seen this. In fact, it is becoming more and more a reality as we look. If you haven't seen our presentation from EU 2016, this was actually a nice chunk of the presentation, among other electric ideas. It can be found embedded on the homepage of suspiciousobservers.org when you scroll down just a bit, and the video was published by the Thunderbolts Project. We're back to the news in San Antonio, where a tornado ripped through while we were processing yesterday's news video. Damage and injuries reported, as they say as many as 6 twisters may have hit the northern part of the city. To the west in California, things are still treacherous. This landslide that happened a few days ago is just one of many in the area. The rain has flooded many localities, and measures to stop the rising water levels are in place up and down the coast, including the spillway opening for the first time in 20 years. Clearly, when they conceptualized the spillway, there was not yet a road in the area. Moving on. Folks, this is super cool, and I can quasi-see it from my house. The Los Alamos Mountains are an easy view from my driveway, and the folks doing science up there are no rookies. They're finding sound waves generated by pre-seismic action utterly snitch on the eventual rupture moment of the earthquake. In the laboratory setting. Still, big thumbs up. I'm going to be inviting these locals on the paper to our conference personally, and this is exactly what I've believed was the last piece of the puzzle to our forecasting model. Right now, we can pick out 10 to 20% of Earth's faults and get 80% of the biggest earthquakes within about 24 hours warning time. We need that last piece of the puzzle to really change the game. Of course, you can learn more about the model and hear from top scientists and professors across the country at Observing the Frontier 2017. Just 45 days away. It's short notice, but we're looking at a few hundred people coming to the Observers event of the year. Make it out if you can. Website members, you got a new episode of Deeper Look yesterday. Right here, we've got pressure and radar forecasts, a null school run up through the atmosphere, and shots of our star to close. It's 4:45 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open, no fear. Be safe, everyone.